Okay, I'm up. Yes. I think. Sorry about this, just have to wait for the stream to get through to, yeah, okay, so there we go. So, welcome back to another game from the International Preliminaries. This is going to be Na Vi versus EHOMe. This is game 2. I didn't bring you guys game 1 because I was in the middle of Complexity versus IG, which is a fantastic series, which you should definitely check out. So, Na Vi are going to be over on the dark side, EHOMe over on the radiant side. I'm Basekip. Picks and bans, fairly standard for both teams, though EHOMe choose to ban Pudge. So that lets the Nature's Prophet through, and Na Vi will just pick up the Shrek and the Sand King. So a lot of fantastic early game, and a lot of early game, a lot of ganking, and a lot of stun, all of which they do so dearly love. And so we will see how EHOMe chooses to run this game. There's still plenty of pushing potential, and the Nature's Prophet really does fit into any lineup. In terms of must picks, still left in the pool, there's not that much. The Darkseer, the Nagasaran, and the Lycan have all been banned. There's still the TA, but I haven't seen much of her this tournament just yet. And I think maybe a lot of her popularity was due to the fact that damage wasn't canceling Blink, so that she could effectively always escape. But it hasn't hurt her burst or anything along those lines. But so Birdmother is actually going to be the pick for Na Vi, and Chaos Knight and Invoker over on EHOMe. So Nature's Prophet and Invoker both on the same team. Not a combination that I think we always see, but it's good global presence if you're on the QE Invoker, and there's a lot of potential to land. There's a lot of room to land Sunstrikes with Sprout and with the Chaos Knight stun. So we'll see how it goes. Still very single target focused, however, and we'll have to see if the Invoker does decide to go maybe QW instead of the EMP Tornado build. It would work really, really well against the little Shrek and the Sand King. So EHOMe just taking a little bit of time with this ban, and so Birdmother could be running on any lane, so there's no giveaways there. Maybe taking the hard lane, well, maybe taking the top lane solo for Na Vi, maybe taking bot solo, could even take mid. There's nothing really given away by that Birdmother, and it's fantastic that Na Vi have managed to pick up the Sand King along with the Brood, because it's not fun running. Well, Sand King is a good counter to Broodmother, is what I'm trying to say. He's probably one of the few heroes that can hold out a lane solo against Broodmother. Meanwhile, other heroes will just get nuked down by the spawn Spiderling spam and have no response to the Spiderlings pushing solo. And so Tidehunter is actually going to be the ban for Na Vi, so another hero that's fantastic against the Broodmother. And Quap and Anti-Mage, so 2 blinkers banned for EHOMe. So I caught the tail end of the last game, and looked like Dendi on Quap was doing a lot of work, so probably a very smart ban. And the ganking power of Queen of Pain against heroes like Nature's Prophet and Invoker is ridiculous. You can't have any rune control when you've got the Quap on the field. And so Wisp is actually the ban as well for Na Vi, so maybe suspecting a little bit of a global strat from EHOMe. The Tinker is still there, but it doesn't fit. Nature's Prophet, Invoker, and Tinker, they're also farm dependent, and while they all do have a global presence, apart from that, there's not a whole lot of internal synergy. And then the Chaos Knight needs to farm as well, so they just need to start picking up supports. Nature's Prophet could run in a bit of a support role, and does make a lot of his own farm, or pick up a whole bunch of farm for your team, but Windrunner's going to be the pick for Na Vi, so this Shrek Sand King Windrunner combination is something that we see them. These are heroes that I think we see them run all the time. It's no surprise to see all of them on Na Vi, and the stun that they have is just ridiculous. Multiple man burrow strikes, multiple man split earths. If you land a 2-man shackle, the total disable from that is just absolutely ridiculous. And so we'll see how EHOMe choose to round this lineup off. They've probably got the Chaos Knight laning with the Lina, and the Nature's Prophet and Invoker can each take a solo. So they could maybe take the Enchantress if they wanted a little bit more early game presence, but they do actually opt for the Bounty Hunter. So maybe run that Bounty Hunter in a solo, Invoker in a solo, and then Chaos Knight and Lina together. I mean, yeah, Bounty Hunter solo, Invoker solo, Chaos Knight and Lina lane together, and the Nature's Prophet in the jungle, at least for the start, maybe. But it's a fairly defensive setup, given what they're up against. And no real response to the Broodmother. They've got the AoE from Lina, but it's not quite as spammable as you would like, so we'll have to see what the Invoker build is this game. And Navi just taking their time with this last pickup. I would not be surprised to see maybe a Tinker, something along those lines. Depending on whether Dendi is going to be playing the Windrunner or not. We're likely to see Havas on the Sand King, and then Leshrac played by Puppy, I guess. They're also flexible in terms of the heroes that they play, and especially with this specific roster of heroes. There's no real giveaways. Light of Heaven probably on the winner. So Enigma's going to be the last pickup for them, so that's probably going to be Puppy, yep. So Smile or Arts Art is going to be on the Shrek. And just waiting for Puppy and... who is it? Lanham X King J, Perfect Cat, so that leaves... why can I not remember? Come on, Lena, pick up your hair. This is embarrassing. I feel like Rick Perry. The fifth member of EHOMe is... I'll soon find out. No, QQQ, what am I saying? Okay, so... X buys 3 GG branches, sells 3 GG branches, buys 3 more GG branches. But so X is going to be on this Invoker. King J is going to... and X actually playing under X again instead of MMY. King J is going to be on the Nature's Prophet, QQQ on the Lina. Lanham is going to be on the Chaos Knight, and Perfect Cat or Celine Godness Cat on the Bounty Hunter. Light of Heaven is going to be on the Broodmother. Smile or Artside is going to be on the Leshrac. Dendi is going to be on the Winner. Havas on the Sand King, and Puppy on the Enigma. Puppy picked up some clarities, and it looks like Navi might be actually going for this early tier 1 tower strategy on the bottom lane. They've got a ton of stun and damage if anybody tries to stop them, but it looks like they might just be heading down, block off the pole, and then head towards their lanes. They had the potential there with the Enigma to go for that early tier 1, but the Broodmother is going to pick it up. They're going to pick it up shortly regardless. It looks like they might actually be running no giveaways just yet. Looks like a hard lane solo for Puppy, actually, with Light of Heaven heading up towards that top lane, Dendi on mid, and then it looks like Havas and Artsart may actually be looking to help out Puppy on this bottom lane. And apologies for the noise if that's making it through to my microphone. I think the gardener is out. The person who manages the outside of our units is going at something, so sorry about that. So Havas is actually going to be taking the XP at first down in this bottom lane. Puppy just setting up the Eidolons and then going back to base to get some mana back up. And QQQ and Lanham, down on this bottom lane with King J in the jungle, and then Invoker and Bounty Hunter each taking a solo. Bounty Hunter not a bad pick at all against the Broodmother, but not going to stand up very well against the harassment. He's going to be able to keep sight, but aside from that, not a whole lot. They've already picked up this early sentry ward just to give him the opportunity to actually go toe-to-toe. But Navi, if anyone gets even remotely out of position on this bottom lane, they are going to be in trouble, especially if Eidolons are up. 6 Eidolons right-clicking is just ridiculous damage, and especially when QQQ does not have very many stats, he needs to be extremely careful. Lanham, a little bit more tanky, but also needs to be wary about getting just a little bit out of position. On the middle lane, Windrunner versus Invoker. Windrunner not going to have a terrible time. X actually getting a lot of right-click damage off. And probably just going to wait for that Cold Snap again. Shouldn't be able to pick Dendi off, but we'll see what happens. And Dendi last hitting quite well. 4 for 6 compared to 4 for nil for X. So Dendi getting a lot of denies, and it shows. He's up a level already. The creep waves have just clashed, but X is just before level 3, and Dendi just on level, just hit level 3 as well. Invoker only level 2. Dendi happy to trade hits right now. I'm just gonna move into tower range. Not quite, perfectly timing the Windrun actually. Not getting hit at all by the tower. And I'm not sure what X Cold Snap there. Didn't Cold Snap the creep. It just didn't look like Dendi got hit by the initial tick. Light of Heaven just trying to surround Perfect Cat. Getting a little bit more damage off. Shadow Walk coming off cooldown in a sec, but again, Bounty Hunter can't really go toe to toe. He can stay here and get XP, that's no problem, but he can't hold off the push. And that's gonna be the big issue here. If he can start getting some levels up, he's gonna be able to move down towards this bottom lane and help set up some kills, especially with Na Vi splitting XP 3 ways. They're not trying to get levels on any specific hero, and realizing that all 3 of their stuns are equally important. Bassi picked up as well, but not activated right now, so not going for a push just yet, but when they do go for it, it should be fairly easy between the Eidolons and the Diabolic Edict. King J just in the jungle. Again, once he gets some levels up, he's going to be great at disrupting this tri-lane down on the bottom lane, especially since once he hits level 6, these guys should all be maybe level 4, something along those lines. The nuke is going to be doing a lot of work. Perfect Cat popped out that salve, so he's looking a bit healthier up on this top lane. He's 11 for 1, Light of Heaven 12 for 2, so Perfect Cat managing to keep the pace. And Na Vi putting a bit of pressure down on this bottom lane. Still not doing too badly in terms of, well, there must be some denies here. Yep. So the Enigma denies, on top of the denies that they've picked up, means that they're sort of staying equal with the duo lane down here. But EHOMe, they're not really in any rush just yet. Dendi wants the 4-minute rune, it doesn't spawn, so X gets a little bit of free damage there. And Dendi just grabs the last hit. But a stun, and King J's actually in trouble right now. Is he going to be able to get back to base? Yes, he will. So Artsart picks up that illusion rune, does a lot of damage with it as well. Lana moves down into the river, but he needs to be careful. Malphite stun on him. Here comes the Burrow Strike as well. Good stun by QQQ, holds off of Havas. Artsart needs to look for the stun, and Havas actually taking quite a bit of damage. We'll just go into that Sandstorm. The creep wave is here. It's going to soak up most of the Edict. And Havas just going to pop off that salve and a Clarity just to heal up. So a little bit of action, but still no first blood just yet. But here we go. Light of Heaven's picked up this Soul Ring, and now he's just going to be spamming Spawn Spiderlings the whole time. And Perfect Cat not quite level 6, so still no permanent detection on that Broodmother. So she's definitely got control of this top lane for now. 21 for 5, and Perfect Cat falling behind a little bit, only 14 for 1. Has some more tangos which have been sent back up, but he's not going to be able to harass the Broodmother. And so what he needs to do is just get a little bit of farm up, and then now that he's got this track, maybe look to start getting some kills down on the bottom lane with the Nature's Prophet TPing in as well. So I mean, all of these guys are only level 3 and level 2 on Artsart, so maybe just wait for that level 6 on King J and then make a little bit of a go for it. They might lose the top tier 1 tower in exchange, but shouldn't be too much of a worry. Perfect Cat getting really low. Still has that last tango, and Bottle being sent up to him as well, so probably just going to be Bottle crowing to try and stay in this. But Light of Heaven's just getting, not free farm, but he's getting a great time of this, and missing a first blood on bot. Here we go. TP was in by King J, and Havas going to go down as well. Artsart stuck in the middle of it, and he's going to get stunned for 3 seconds, so he's going to be a kill as well. And not paying enough attention to first blood. Okay, so who got the first blood? Okay, so it was a first blood against QQQ, and then King J TP'd in, and he and Lana managed to pick up 2 kills of their own. So not a bad response. And probably not what they were hoping for, but it's not a bad exchange. And more XP on this Chaos Knight. And he's picked up a bottle as well, so lots of bottles for EHOMe. Trying to stay in these lanes as long as they can. Dendy's picked up an Invis rune, walks right past King J. And here we go, power shot is bottling up as well. Has a shackle, does find it as well. Power shot, almost up. Looks like King J is going to be going down here. Stun onto Dendy, but yeah. Killed by a neutral, so King J going to be happy about that. And stun onto X. Vavos gets stunned for 2 seconds. Tornado up into the air as well. Just hides in the sandstorm. Is there going to be a nuke from QQQ? Yes, there will be. So kill on him. Artside still getting chased away by King J. Buyback from him after getting killed off by that neutral creep. So Dendy unfortunately being chaosed, but not a favorable engage from them for them either. Light of Heaven looks like he has managed to drive Perfect Cat off this top lane, so he's going to be getting complete free farm and heading towards whatever he wants, be it a Manta, be it an Orchid. So King J just going to go back into the jungle. Is level 6 now, so that Ninja's Prophet Ultimate going to be doing all of the damage that we talked about. And Puppy's just going to head up. The Spiderlings and the Eidolons are going to be able to take this tower no problem whatsoever, and Perfect Cat definitely does not have a response. And nor does X. He's got his phase boots up, but the Tornado probably not going to be enough to hold this tower. They've got the fortification if they want it, and it does pop. But more and more Spiderlings coming up. And the Eidolons still have a reasonable duration left. I'm not sure if EHOMe is going to be able to hold off this tower. They might be able to get the deny, but we will see what happens. Perfect Cat, can you do it? No, not quite. Puppy gets the last hit with the Eidolons, but here we go. Light of Heaven gets stunned for 2 seconds. He's in trouble, and the track on him as well means the move speed is less relevant, and the great Reality Rift. Lanham manages to pick up that kill, plus the track gold on top for the rest of their team. So EHOMe playing fantastically, finding kills exactly where they needed them. Losing a tower for the kills, not a huge trade, but EHOMe definitely doing what they need to. And they've got the carry, while Navi definitely don't. And Lanham not doing too badly, 2 assists and 2 kills, so he's participated in every single kill on the map right now. So he is definitely not going to be, he's not going to be unhappy about his position. And it means that CK isn't going to end up in this sort of strange ganker position that we sometimes see him in. He's definitely going to be able to carry in this game if it keeps going like it is. And Perfect Cat just hiding off to the side. Looks like they want to go on Dendy, and not quite. King J could TP in as well. He's picked up an urn, so early game items for him. Not heading towards a Midas Rush. And Light of Heaven switches lanes down to the bottom lane, looking to pick up another tier 1 to boost his team's gold. Puppy moves in. Perfect Cat's here, but the center ward's going to spot him out. They were looking for wards, but they found Bounty Hunter. And Dire Courier actually going down. So as good as a kill. Looks like X just managed to pick that up as it was flying across to Puppy. So a little bit of a misplay there by Navi, and EHOMe going to be happy about the gold. QQQ down on bottom lane, trying to hold off the Broodmother, and he's the only one with the nukes to do it. And there's nobody else to stop it on the Radiant side. So whenever Broodmother is pushing, Light of Heaven can guarantee that QQQ is going to be coming down to try and stop him. And Perfect Cat going to come down. Yeah, does choose to come out of Invis, so Light of Heaven knows that he's here, probably not going to come out of the web. And is there any other detection on EHOMe right now? No, so relying on Light of Heaven coming out to try and get that. But smoke up on Navi. And EHOMe are going to feel safe because of these wards, but they're going to be able to get this gank off. X needs to be really careful. He's got the Tornado, but if the chain stun happens, he's going to be going down. Tornado immediately shackled, doesn't latch, and he's going to be able to get out of here. And Cold Snap as well. Well played by X. As soon as he saw Artsart come out, just immediately tornadoed. Maybe if Havas had gone first and gotten the Burrow Strike into the Leshrac stun, they could have taken him out, but Shackle shot initiate, not quite finding what they wanted. And what rank is that Shackle? Rank 3 already, so Dundee, fairly high level. And King J back, well, he's up on this top lane right now, which has been fairly free for anyone to farm on both sides. Havas actually in the jungle right now. And Light of Heaven just using his spiderlings to jungle up as well, so still getting farm. Perfect Cat just hiding down here, and they just want Light of Heaven to come out and get tracked, but he's not having any of it. And TP's down towards the bottom lane by Artsart. But Dendy in trouble on mid, and the ultimate bouncing from Nature's Prophet will pick him off. So another missed kill for base kip. I'm sorry guys, I should keep a tally. I feel bad about it. X Staff of Wizardry for him, so he's going to be looking to head towards a 4-staff. And Perfect Cat, Invis rune on him. 5 kills the lead right now for EHOMe. And gold difference, not very much. XP 4k in their favor right now. So most of that just coming from having the Nature's Prophet in the jungle. And Navi splitting experience 3 ways down on this bottom lane. Perfect Cat still roaming around and hasn't been finding that much farm. 28 last hits on him. Havas needs to be careful over up in this top lane. He's going to get tracked. Has the bar strike to get out, but King J is going to come up as well. Pops the dust. Sand King pops the dust, but they're not quite able to make it out. And King J might just look to try and get this tier 1. Is there going to be a response from Navi? They might just try and trade for the tier 1 on bot. Could buy up TPs and hit up the top, but it might just be a 1-for-1 trade right now. Ward goes down behind the tower, so definitely stating their intent to take out this tower. And looks like they might be able to take mid as well, so EHO maybe 2 towers for the price of 1 right now. Radiant Fortification pops off. Middle tower, almost down. Top tower, half health as well. TPs are actually going to head in towards mid. The fortification pops, but Havas immediately gets stunned, and the cold snap on him, 4-second stun as well. Goes down without getting anything off. Puppey up in the air because of the tornado. EMP might not find him. And King J finds the tower up on the top lane as well. Light of Heaven. King J's in here as well. 3-second stun onto Artsart. He's in trouble, but a great shackle from Dendy. Off to the side. Puppey with the black hole. QQQ. With the stun, Puppey getting pulled off to the side. He's going to be right-clicked by Lanham. And Artsart on very low health at the back. Pops out the stick charges. Light of Heaven still trying to see what he can get. Dendy with the shackle. But Perfect Cat's here, and Artsart got picked off by the Bounty Hunter. And they still want Dendy. And King J is actually TPing in Sprout. And they need the right-click as well. Power Shot trying to get him out, but 2-second stun from the Epicenter popping off as well from Havas. Are they going to be able to get Perfect Cat? No, they will not. QQ trying to make his way out, still has a stun. And Lanham and Light of Heaven fighting it off to the side. And Dendy got picked off. Lanham trying to make his way out. Spawn Spiderling's going to be there in just a second. Lanham, yeah, there we go. Spawn Spiderling's just enough mana. And Dendy bought back. They managed to grab a kill on King J as well. So overall, a fairly even exchange, but Navi definitely playing fantastically. EHOME had them on the run, but turning it around fairly well. And again, EHOME, they're up in kills, and they've got a bounty hunter, so they should be looking to push out a gold lead heading into this mid game. And again, Navi don't really have any big carries. Light of Heaven's going to be able to get some carry items up, and he's actually opting for a BKB, so he's going to have some team fight potential there as well. But yeah, it's interesting. Navi, they've got a big team fight. If they can land a good black hole, and if they can get an epicenter on top of that, something like that, plus the Leshrac damage, they can definitely wipe out EHOME squishies in a few seconds. But if EHOME played this gankier, more maneuverable style of game that they're definitely going for right now, then they're still in a fantastic position. They're going to have to take team fights if they want to push, unless they get pickoffs beforehand. But it shouldn't be too much of a problem for them right now. QQQ has picked up some mana boots. X has his 4-staff up as well. Navi with another smoke, and looks like they're going to be looking for QQQ, but he's just going to be Stacking his camp. Navi probably gonna find him and he's gonna get shackled. Shackle it does actually latch. So stun, damage, last right click. Dendi gets the kill. That was a long distance shackle, but oh well. EHOMe in a little bit of trouble. Artsart TPing in, EMP gonna hit on Puppy. And Artsart, but out of mana, still very healthy in terms of life points. And X just gonna be retreating out, TPing down towards that bottom lane where Light of Heaven, as the Broodmother, just keeping this constant pressure on. And they need QQQ to come down to wipe out these spiderlings. They're really a danger. No web for them right here, so Light of Heaven gonna get tracked up, and there's gonna be TPs coming in as well. He's slowed down. King J TPs into the trees, sprout up. Light of Heaven's popped his ultimate, uses the web to get out. Cold Snap onto him. Dendi and Havas are here. Great shot. Hits on King J through the trees. Havas 3 seconds stun on him, gets pulled back. He's gonna go down. That was what a shackle. That was just absurd. Of all the shackles, for it to go between the trees and grab a hero on the other side, that's just absurd. Maybe, no, it couldn't have been pulled by anything, so definitely just a ballsy shackle, I guess. I'm not sure if even Dendi would have expected that. Does he almost have his 4 staff? No, just buying that up because he thought he might die in that engagement. Artsart has an urn of his own. Light of Heaven almost to that BKB. We'll have it in just a second, so probably looking to buy it up. Yep, there we go. So buys up his BKB. And X, 1.5k gold for him. I'll just switch to net worth just so we can get an idea. And Lanham is farming really well. He's got drum, he's got a vitality booster. He is definitely not going to be relegated to a sort of drum and treads at 30 minutes into the game, as we do sometimes see on these Chaos Knights. And he might opt for, could opt for a Vanguard, doesn't necessarily need it. Probably just hold on to that Vit booster for Heart later in the game. Could go for an Armlet now, or even a BKB given the level of stun that Navi has. Puppy's finished up a mech, so plenty of pushing power for Navi. And with that BKB up on Broodmother, should be just flying in a second. This is a fantastic time for them to go for a push and take a bit of the team fight. Dendi's finished up his 4 staff as well, so I guess that was just flying out on the courier. And EHOMe, they're forming up a little bit on middle lane. Perfect Cat again, just roaming around, trying to find what he can. He's not picking up very many last hits, just relying on these team fights and the gold that they afford him to get the farm, get the levels. And in terms of levels, Puppy and Havas a little bit underleveled compared to EHOMe, but not a huge discrepancy right now. And a lot of that, again, coming from the fact that they had a Nature's Prophet jungling early on. So yeah, XP in favor of the Radiants along with gold. And Na Vi, they've got the potential to go for a rush if they wanted, but it looks like they might just be heading for a gank or a push down in this bottom lane, forming up as 5, but they're going to lose the top tier 2 without any contest. And Lanham does actually pick up that last hit. And Perfect Cat is going to TP back down towards middle lane. Navi, they want a tower in response. It's already on half health, and the fortification is there, but the Edict's doing a ton of damage. And so it's going to be a tower for a tower trade. But all of Navi are down here on the bottom lane. Light of Heaven pretty much out of mana, trying to get some more Spartalings up, but he needs to be careful. Doesn't have enough mana for his ultimate, so he is not going to want to team fight this. And Navi back off, go for the smoke, and it's not spotted out, so well, Perfect Cat illusion. And they actually Navi choosing to stun the illusion. It didn't reveal Puppy, so they had to know that it was an Illo. So Navi just gonna have to use this smoke to retreat out. And EHOMe probably suspecting what's going on there. Perfect Cat just jungling up a bit. Navi still sticking as 5 and looking to put some pressure on some more towers. But the Treants harassing down the tier 3. Navi, they want this tier 1 on mid. They should be able to grab it. The EMP is, again, just slowing down the push. And the deny not quite being there. X not going to get shackled. Lanham moves forward. He gets bar struck. And the stun on him as well. Is he going to go down without getting anything off? And the EMP and the black hole just for him. Lanham's going to go down to the last right click from Artsart. Light of Heaven pops the BKB. Wants to right click. X gets shackled to a tree. Perfect Cat stunned. And here we go. Another stun. Xbox trying to get out. Havas trying to get out. Perfect Cat getting right click down by Light of Heaven. Gets tracked. Another tornado through. 2 for 1 right now. The exchange. Light of Heaven. Is he going to be able to get out? No. Cold Snap on him. Great force step forward from X. Wants to pick off Artsart, but the stick charge is pop. Earn as well. Is he going to be able to make it out of here? There is a stun, but no. Gets sprouted. He's going to go down. Killing spree for EHOMe. Killing spree for Perfect Cat. And again, more and more track gold in the pockets of EHOMe. So really well team fought by them. Power shot flying forward. Just trying to slow down these Treants, but looks like this is going to be a tier 2 for EHOMe as well. So yeah, Navi probably not going to be able to defend it. Moving forward, might be able to get the deny, but that would be about the extent of it. They popped the fortification as well, so they really want this deny, and TPs are coming in as well. Yeah, tornado flying through. They just want the Treant to finish it off. EMP pops. Last creeps are dead, so they can just deny this now if they want. Yep, so Havas will just get that denied. And King J jungling up. Has a mech, so more and more support items for him. And doing exactly what they need, given that QQQ is not hard supporting this game. He needs to have enough mana to spam his skills against the Spiderlings, since they are really relying on that to clear them up, along with the Eidolons as well. And X has actually opted for a gem, has picked up an ultimate orb as well, so he's going to be, well, not to his Guinsoo shortly, but not too far off either. And it's going to be a big item for them to have as well. Locking down one of Navi's stuns, and maybe even picking them off before they can do too much, is going to be a big help. And it's another really reliable ranged way to cancel off the black hole from Puppy, especially since he's not going to be getting to a BKB this game, well, at least not quickly. EHOMe just taking full advantage of this gem to claim the map control. King J just going to be stealing the stacked Dire Ancients right now. So no farm there for Navi. And Navi are definitely on the back foot. They're down in terms of XP, 10k. They're down in terms of gold, 5k. And EHOMe are just taking their towers. And Navi not able to defend. EHOMe, again, another illusion. Are they going to try and do anything? No. So Navi not falling for the same trick twice. But the ruthless pressure from EHOMe. And Havas in a lot of trouble as well. Yeah, he's going to get stunned and right click down by Atlanta. But EHOMe are in a commanding position. They're up 7 kills. They've got a lot of tier 2 towers. There's only one left for them to take. And after that, well, they need to look to go to the high ground. But do they have the items that they need? BKB is almost going to be up on Perfect Cat, so that's going to be a big help. And what else do they have? Lanham actually opting to pick up that Vanguard with that Vitality booster that he had. And King J, he's had that mech for a little bit. A pipe could be a big help, but looks like they're actually... Well, Ultimate Orb on Lanham, that could be a Manta style. Or he could be heading towards a Hex, I suppose. And Havas picks up that Blink Dagger. So he's going to be... Well, it really doubles his effectiveness in this next fight. He should be able to get off a 2-hero bar strike, regardless, using that Blink. So team fight dynamic shifting ever so slightly in the favor of Navi, and they've still got the black hole on Puppy, but short of landing a 3 or 4 man black hole, it's more than likely going to be cancelled in short order. But if Navi can execute a team fight well, then they stand a really good chance of winning the fight, maybe even getting some more tier 2s down. And Puppy's going to be going for this Roshan. Not keeping the Eidolon's just out of range, unfortunately, as he tanks it. So they're not going to be able to split this life, and they're going to go down. So not going to be an easy Roshan for Puppey. So, well, Na Vi, I'm not sure what they need to do right now. They're definitely on the back foot. They could look for smoke gank, but they don't have any map control. The gem on X has just been cleaning out all of their wards. They don't have any sight on the Roshan pit right now, and they're definitely relegated to sort of this section of the map. So EHOMe have pushed them back quite a bit, and cleaning out that ward as well. So, and Artart and Puppey need to be careful. They're right underneath this Radiant ward right now. And at the same time, EHOMe are more than happy to farm. They've got better map control right now, so the farm is coming in faster for them. And they're going to have a whole bunch of Gwinsus up in just a moment. 3k gold plus an ultimate orb for X, so he is very, very close. And looks like what's being picked up. So Lanham's actually opting for a Manta, so as soon as they go for this push, then those illusions are going to be doing a ton of damage. So we'll see how Na Vi respond. Dendi's actually choosing to head towards a Gwinsu as well. Or a Hex, I guess. I should stop calling it a Gwinsu. King J looks like he's going to get caught out by Light of Heaven. Sprout up onto the high ground. Maleficent on him. He's probably going to go down here. Right clicking. Dendi still has the shackle, but probably not going to need to use it. And Havas with the blink forward. So Light of Heaven picking up that kill. And they should be able to pick up this bottom tier 2 in response, but Lanham's going to be grabbing the bot tier 2. Top tier 2 is where Na Vi's pushing. Getting tongue-tied. Dendi, well, fortification pops. He's immediately using focus fire, so this tower is going to be going down really, really quickly. Look at that damage between the spiderlings and all that. But this is where Na Vi need to put their attention. EHOMe looking to go high ground, and both teams just immediately jumping back into their base. Gonna try and clean out these spiderlings, and now levels of meteor are starting to come up, so good way to deal with that. Yeah, X has finished up his Scythe of Ice, so that is going to be big for this next fight. And Lanham, Manta style, well, almost for him as well. Just needs to finish up that Yasha. Yeah, there we go. So Yasha finished up, so he's got his completed Manta. King J has your farm going. Still just that ultimate orb, not super close. That death set him back a little bit. And that might just be what EHOMe are waiting for to go for this next push. Is there any big item progression on Light of Heaven? He's almost to a Manta as well. So damage items coming up for both teams. And we'll see how decisive this Roshan is. Both teams are keeping an eye on it right now. EHOMe keeping a Treant right in the pit, so not even content with all of the sight that they have, realizing that Na Vi could smoke in and get it quite quickly. And Artut actually has a smoke right now. Dendi, they're trying to get sight, but X should be back to clean up those wards in just a second. He's sitting in his Ghost Walk, so he is going to, well, as soon as he moves up onto the high ground, no, actually no, they don't have any sight to get up onto that ledge, so that ward will be able to stay there for just a little bit. Puppey needs to be careful. Perfect Cat is here, and Havas as well. Puppey's immediately hexed up. Great stun from Havas, but looks like Puppey's gonna be in trouble. One last right click. King J finishes him off. Light of Heaven, QQQ doesn't quite get shackled to the tree. Light of Heaven trying to right click with his BKB, but he's in trouble as well. There's 4 heroes here for EHOMe and none for Na Vi. Havas stuck off to the side. Laguna Blade just finishing off Light of Heaven. Havas not gonna be able to get out with the Burrow Strike. So 3 free kills for EHOMe. They can go and grab Roshan right now if they want it. And Na Vi, they don't want to buy back for this. They need to hold on to them for the push on the racks. So it's going to be a free Roshan for EHOMe right now. And Puppey, he really got caught out. I don't know if they thought anyone was in the Radiant jungle, but really sticking his nose out a little bit too far and getting punished for it. And EHOMe are in just such a comfortable position right now. They know exactly what their game plan is, and they're executing it perfectly. Great communication in terms of which items are about to come up, when they should be going for these pushes, and they weren't even initiating anything. They're just capitalizing on Na Vi's mistakes. And it's what they've been doing all game. They've absolutely been playing fantastically. And I think it's unfortunate the pennant numbers. Well, I say that while I have a Navi pennant, but how comparable these two teams are is not reflected at all in this support number right now. So, EHOMe moving up into the dire jungle, and again, they've got map control. They're happy to farm because they've got more and more items coming up. And King J's actually finished up that scythe device as well, so lots of disable for EHOMe right now. Puppey has a blink, and forced to blink out, but Artart's going to be in a lot of trouble. He's going to go down, grabbed out by Lanham. And X hits Dendy with the tornado. EMP doesn't quite find a spot. King J has a DD rune, and with Artart down, EHOMe might just try to go high ground right now. They've got all of the disable, they've got all of the stun. And unless Puppey can land the biggest black hole of his life, he's not going to be in trouble. Great blink by him to get out of that reality rift. But the tower is immediately taking a lot of damage. The illusions from Phantasm plus the Manta illusions are just shredding these buildings. And Navi, they need to engage if they want to hold on to this melee barracks. Puppey moving forward. Blink Dagger is off cooldown. EHOMe, they don't want to get stuck in it, and the melee barracks goes down for free. Navi don't want to take that engagement. They need the black hole. So EHOMe, it's a big prize just to grab for being intimidating. They didn't need to take a team fight. They didn't need to risk anything. All they did was just move up, pop the Phantasm, pop the Manta illusions, and say, Navi, you need to take the team fight or you're gonna lose the Rex. And Navi just decided to sacrifice the Rex, then take a lost team fight and maybe lose two. But EHOMe are back straight away, and Light of Heaven's going to get caught out. Reality Rift, 4 seconds down on him, does get forced to step forward. Vavas is in the middle of this with the epicenter, and Puppey trying to get the black hole off, but didn't look like it caught too many. Great shackle shot onto QQQ and X. QQQ is going to go down, but Lanham finishes off Puppey. X. EHOMe trying to regroup, 4 seconds down on Havas. He's more than likely going to go down here. The ice wall up as well. Tries to burrow strike. Great spawn spiderlings from Light of Heaven, picking off X, but he still has that Aegis, so he's going to be up in just a second. So 4 heroes up for EHOMe, only 3 for Navi. Do they just want this ranged Rex? Is it worth it? X is just going to go up onto the high ground and try and take it off for himself. And Alacrity pops. And Lanham pops the Manta, so that's going to be the ranged barracks gone as well. King J comes in. They want the bottom tier 3 as well. They want the bottom tier 3 as well, and Navi need to respond. But still, 2 heroes down for another 10 seconds. Tornado flies through, Dendy moving in. Gets hit by just the very end of that deafening blast. And they just need to keep clearing out these treants. And that's the thing with the Phantasm illusions, with the Manta illusions, and with the treants. EHOMe can push towers without even risking anything. All they just need to do is throw illusions and treants at the towers and force Navi to clean them up. And the fastest way for them to do it is to use their stuns, but as soon as they spend a few spells and put them on cooldown, well, that's when EHOMe can engage. So it's a very tricky situation for Navi right now. Smoke up for them, realizing that they need to do whatever they can at this point. And EHOMe are getting really, really rich. They're taking advantage of the entire map and using it to get farm. That's how they got all of these Gwynsus, which have been so pivotal in these fights. Reaver picked up on Lanham, so he is extremely tanky. And Navi's still trying to find someone with this smoke, but nobody around for EHOMe. And EHOMe are just going to group up again. Desolator picked up on Perfect Cat, so these towers are just... all the buildings are just going to be in so much trouble. And Puppey needs to be careful as well. Perfect Cat's going to spot him out. The rest of Navi are here if he chooses to engage, so probably just going to scat out for now. Lanham has that DD rune, so he's going to be scary for the next little bit. Actually moving forward, and EHOMe aren't in position. He might get picked off here. Immediately gets hexed, walks into the middle of 5. Tornado flies through. EHOMe are here. King J's TP'd in. Light of Heaven, BKB'd up, but looks like Artar's going to go down. So is Puppey. Laguna Blade on him. Light of Heaven getting right-clicked. Lanham has popped all of his illusions and just right-clicking away. Perfect Cat with a double kill. Havas, 3 seconds down on him. Lanham tries for the Reality Rift. Doesn't manage it. And 4 down for Navi, so they're going to call the GG. Fantastic play from EHOMe. They knew exactly what they were looking for. I was a bit dubious about Lanham heading in there, but I guess he knew better what was going on than I did. Anyway, GG's being called, and looks like console commands being put in to give the victory to Na Vi. So, I've been Basket. This has been a game from the preliminaries of the International. I hope you are all as psyched as I am for this tournament. Thank you very much for tuning in. If there are any more games that are just about to start for the day, I think we're almost done, then I will be straight back with those games. And thanks everyone for tuning in. MTW versus Dare. What's still left for the day? Okay, so it looks like that is the end of it. Yep, so that was just that game. So it looks like that's about it for the day. I will hopefully be back tomorrow, depending on how the uni timetable works out and how this scheduling works out. I didn't think I was going to catch any games today with how the timetabling worked out. But anyway, it looks like things were disorganized and it sort of worked in my favor. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. I'm probably just going to bring the stream down and then catch the end of this MTW versus Dare game. So nice to have you all. I'll see you later.